Saki to me.
Hey everybody, it's Detto. Welcome back to Saki to Me. This episode is going to be about MKUltra. If you don't know what it is, stay tuned because it'll blow your mind. It's incredible. I got my girl Casey here. Stick around, check out the show. It's going to be great. See you in a little bit.
Hey everyone, it's Casey. Just wanted to give a shout out to our fellow podcaster, Steve Pugh, down the road, Dads with Nerdy Ambitions. Check him out wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hey everybody, it's Detto. We're back. Episode 3 of Season 2. Kind of excited about that. I'm here with my girl Casey.
Hello everyone.
There we go. This episode is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to link everything together. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh boy.
This whole episode is about what?
MKUltra.
And?
Mind control?
Mind control and the CIA's decision to try and go ahead with it.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that go into this. This was a really interesting topic that I never knew about until now.
I didn't either.
I had no idea any of this even existed.
Nope.
It's like, holy cow. Talk about a rabbit hole.
It's true. Once you start looking into it, it says...
You can't stop.
Yeah, you find out all sorts of stuff you didn't know about. I had no idea. I'd never even heard about it until...
So if all of you guys are out there, you want to know anything about MKUltra, start looking, and I promise you, if you're bored one night, look at it, and you will go down that rabbit hole, and you'll be surprised at what you find.
Yeah.
So with that, let's get started.
All right.
MKUltra was what? Mind control.
Mind control. It was
By
the CIA.
Yep.
And it was like a 20-year secret project.
Yep.
That the CIA basically were giving people LSD for the most part.
Yeah, they use drugs.
They bought all the supply of LSD or something. The United States government basically bought all of the LSD.
Isn't that crazy? They did. And they were trying to control people's minds.
Yep.
And they were doing it through the use of drugs, sex, and all kinds of other types of weird things, unwittingly to the people that they were doing it to. The people had no idea it was happening.
Right.
They're just like, here, have some drugs.
And they didn't even realize they were taking the drugs at some points, I think. They were just part of this experiment. They had no idea.
Yeah, they had hookers bringing them into a facility.
Yeah.
Get them there, and then they would drug them up and monitor the way they acted.
Right.
And they used it for mind control, which people would come out of the place with amnesia.
Right.
They wouldn't even know what the hell they were doing.
And they were trying to do what? See if they could create assassins or something? It was something to do for military purposes, really, is what they were looking to do.
They did. It was like Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
And we're going to get back to that in a few minutes because that's crazy. The Bourne movies are some of my favorite movies. Okay. I love them. And I never would have thought that this was what it came out of. That's nuts.
Yeah, apparently it did.
Yeah. So in the late 60s, 69, giggity, that's when everything was going crazy. When Summer of Love, this and that, all the hippies are out, Grateful Dead's playing, and everybody's having a good time. They're feeling it.
Okay.
And Haight-Ashbury.
Yes.
The two streets in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. That's where it all started. That's where the clinics were.
Some of them, yes.
Well, they're all around there.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. They were all in that San Francisco area. And here are these CIA agents conducting these experiments on people unwittingly.
Right.
And just letting them go. Mm-hmm. And they called it the Summer of Love. And people celebrate it. They celebrate it now. Because nobody knows.
No, nobody.
Nobody knows what the hell is happening.
Yeah, not at all.
That's how they covered it up.
Okay.
Yep. And so through all of that, there were a lot of things that were wrong until Frank Church put the committee together to start
investigating everything in like the 70s or something, right?
But the people that came out of it, Charlie Manson.
I know. It's crazy.
He was like, I don't know if he was the number one person, but he came out of it. And he ended up killing like 9 people.
Through other people, though.
Through other people. Because he figured out how to use the mind control on the other people.
Yeah.
They had him under control, and he figured out how to use the control on other people.
Yeah.
And he was a part of that Haight-Ashbury whole regiment.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they were doing. They were actually creating assassins.
Pretty much, yes.
And
they were trying to take... I think they did, didn't they do electric shock and all that stuff, too?
There was a lot of stuff that went on. There was a lot of different things that went on. But they created assassins that would go into war. Because the whole thing was going on right around the Vietnam War.
Right.
That's what they were trying to create.
Right.
And I think the Vietnam War was actually a cover for what actually happened.
Oh,
That's why it was such a terrible, terrible joke.
Right.
It wasn't even a joke. I shouldn't even say that because the Vietnam War was awful. And people have been ruined by it. But they tried to cover up this entire, experiment with the Vietnam War. So, don't worry about over here. Here's the Vietnam War. Look at this.
Well, I read something that they think it was mirrored. It was kind of a continuation of what the Nazis were doing in concentration camps. They were doing the same type of experiments at that point in time. And then the CIA continued it, kind of.
I don't know about that because the Nazis were like burning people.
Yeah, I think they were doing a lot of other things too. But because they were trying to also figure out the mind control and what they could do with people, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I read it today.
Well, there you go. The Grateful Dead are one of the most famous acts, bands, entertainment people that came out of that era at that time from Haight-Ashbury.
Yes.
Think about it.
Uh-huh.
Say the name.
Grateful Dead.
Say it again.
Grateful Dead.
What do you think of that?
Oh, is that what you're saying? That's your connection?
That's the connection. Yeah, it's actually the connection. You could link it back to it. It was the Grateful Dead out of Haight-Ashbury. That whole thing. And they were the leaders of that free love type thing.
Yes.
That they were playing it off as when it was all mind control. Now, whether Grateful Dead had anything to do with it.
Right, yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't find anything that says they do.
Right.
But that's a funny name at a funny time.
Very true. Okay.
Which I'm saying.
I mean, it's a little far-fetched, I think. But
I don't think it's far-fetched at all. I think it's exactly what it is. That's right. Grateful Dead. Those people became zombies. They became zombies. And I've said it. I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. There are two types of Grateful Dead fans. There's the absolutely smart, successful type, and there's the absolute smelly, hippie, stoner type.
Well, and they said that a lot of the people that they used for this were the hippies and that kind of people that didn't even realize they were doing it. They had no idea they were part of this experiment.
I'm saying the Grateful Dead had something to do about it.
You think they were involved in it?
I think so. I would say so. Why would you name yourself the Grateful Dead?
I don't know, but that is...
Why would you name yourself the Grateful Dead? That's a strange name to come out of a strange time at a strange point with a strange situation going on. Why would you do that? You got to admit, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean...
Charles Manson's coming out of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
At the same time, this band called the Grateful Dead is the biggest band in the world.
Wow. It's a big jump.
It's not a big jump. It's not a big jump at all. I have appreciated the Grateful Dead. I've never been a huge fan. Okay. I'm not a huge fan. And I'm not knocking them down musically at all, anything like that. I'm just saying, think about it. Because that's strange.
Yeah.
That is strange. Those clinics in Haight-Ashbury, all of these people came out.
All right.
Hey.
I mean, I don't know if they would appreciate you saying that.
I don't care. Screw them. Screw them right to hell. What would I give a shit for? I don't like the Grateful Dead. I'm a Tool fan.
Yeah.
Tool's way better.
Okay.
That being said, they were covering up the war. But they covered this up with the war. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They covered this up with the war. The Vietnam War. So nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew.
I didn't find out about this till about 2 weeks ago.
There was apparently a movie made a few years ago that I had no idea. I did not know about this at all. I had no idea.
We both watched it and it sucked.
The movie was not good.
Awful.
At all.
And I didn't even get it. I don't even think it had anything to do with what went on.
Very little.
Basically, loosely adapted.
Yeah,
I guess.
From what I've researched, it really barely touched on what actually was done.
It was loosely based on all that. And it was crazy because it was hard to follow.
It was.
Like, I don't know. I watched it twice. Both times it put me to sleep, to be honest. It was...
Yeah. Agree.
And so here I am trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to talk about in this podcast. And I can't even get through the movie because it's so goddamn boring.
Right, but when you research it and see what actually happened, it's
incredible.
Way more than the movie.
It's so much deeper, so much more incredible.
Way more interesting.
Yes. It's Jason Bourne. It's the Bourne movies. That's exactly what it is. And those are some of my favorite movies of all time, the Bourne movies.
Right.
And they take a guy, they wipe out his memory, and they send him out to be an assassin. That's what MKUltra was.
That's what they wanted to do. I don't know that they actually did that at all. Did they ever actually
Just that one guy, what's his name? Shaver?
Yeah, there was that one story that I heard
That came out.
Yeah.
And he brutally murdered that little girl.
Little girl in a parking lot and had no recollection of any of it, anything. So, but other than that, I don't know that they ever used it in any sort of military anything.
I bet you they did.
Maybe they did.
That's the whole point, and that's where we're going with this. I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they figured it out because we have the internet now.
True.
So
you're going to say
TV and mind control go hand in hand. And TV went downhill as soon as they started producing those stupid medicine commercials.
Medicine commercials?
Yeah, I'm not going to say any of the names, but you know how they put the medicine name in a song and then you keep singing it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Fucking mind control.
I guess.
That's what that is.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I have never thought of it that way.
Well, that's what that is. In commercials. Why are all the big stars in commercials?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why are commercials so important nowadays?
I have no idea.
Me either. But they're all just lining up to do it because they're paying them whatever they want to go and do it.
I don't even see that many commercials, which is the weird part. It's not like TV used to be when we used to sit and watch and commercial breaks all the time. Now everything's streaming. So how many commercials do you even see?
Everyone I see has to do with the big pharma companies.
They got the most
just
money.
about every one of them. They got the most money and they're backed by the government. So
all the drug companies are backed by the government?
Well, if the government wants mind control, don't you think they'd back them?
I guess, yeah.
Now, the government's suing TikTok. Oh, no, TikTok is suing the government.
Oh, yeah, because the U.S. government doesn't want TikTok.
Which is a smart move by the U.S. government. Get TikTok the hell out of here. It's obnoxiously annoying. It provides no benefit for anyone alive.
No.
And just makes things awful, like most of social media.
Are you not learning a lot of dances on TikTok? Is that what you're saying?
I don't even have TikTok. It's so bad. I don't even have it.
I don't understand TikTok, so.
Let's just go with Snapchat, right? Here, let me snap a picture of my peep-peep so it disappears in 5 seconds and you never see it again. Bull crap, you don't see it again. Somebody will find it somewhere.
I don't understand any of those, to be honest.
Why is this happening? Who comes up with an idea to take a picture, send it to somebody,
and have it disappear?
Unless you wanted that picture to be seen by someone that wasn't supposed to be seeing it.
True. Yeah, I don't understand any of them. These are social media things that I don't really get, so.
And then Messenger and now Threads.
I still can't figure out what Threads is. Is it like...
Why are you in competition
Twitter,
with yourself?
X? Yeah, and Facebook, Instagram, Threads, they're all the same company, right?
Yeah. Why are you in competition with yourself? That's called a monopoly, I believe.
Usually, yeah.
If you have to create another company or another line to compete with your own company, it basically means you have a monopoly.
What do they make money from? Ads?
Absolutely.
That's all they make money from. I mean,
eyeballs.
they're not paid subscriptions for anything.
It's all about eyeballs. It's all about eyeballs. The internet is now the new mind control.
You think that's mind control? Okay.
That's why it's unregulated.
It's completely unregulated. I mean, they're trying to regulate it, aren't they? Certain things.
Hold on. They can regulate my guns nice and easy, but they can't regulate the goddamn internet. Are you serious?
I mean,
are you serious?
They can create all sorts of laws.
They can come right in here.
Follow them is, I think, a different story.
Before we get any farther into my life, you can go accuse somebody of something, and then they got to figure out how to prove that they didn't do something that somebody said, but they can't regulate the internet.
Right.
They have everything. They have everything the way they want it. It's all going the way it's supposed to, and nobody questions it. No one questions anything. Why are there so many medicine commercials on TV?
I have no idea. What do you think the reasoning for that is? Do you think the government's trying to push the medicines? What do you think your reasoning is?
Well, I don't take any medicines anyway.
Right.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even take Advil.
Right.
I don't even like toothpaste, to be honest with you.
Toothpaste.
Seriously. Toothpaste and mouthwash. We'll talk about that one later. But the foreign things man-made, probably are not healthy. They can't be.
Right. I mean, they could be, but I hear what you're saying, that they might not be. They don't necessarily need to be healthy. I know. So you're saying they're trying to make people sick.
Here's two questions for you. They cured polio.
Is that a question? Yes.
They cured polio, correct?
Yes,
right?
Right?
How come they can't cure cancer?
Yeah, I know.
They landed a man on the moon.
So they say.
How come nobody's ever been back?
They say it's not worth it to go there, but I don't really know.
What year did the man land on the moon?
I don't even want to say the number because I'm going to be wrong and you're going to say something. What's the year?
69.
69.
And what year was the Summer of Love?
Was that 69 too?
Yes.
Oh, look at you connecting everything.
I'm connecting it all. And the Grateful Dead were involved with Charles Manson and all of that. Prove me wrong.
Wow.
Prove me wrong. I dare you.
Okay. So here's a question. Had you heard the Charles Manson connection to this MKUltra thing before we started researching this?
To be honest, no. Problem is, I didn't even know about MKUltra. This is like reverse. This is all in reverse.
Now it makes so much sense once you say it. Like, now that we hear what that is and what the experiments were and that he was involved, it kind of makes sense that that's a thing.
You want to start putting pieces together.
Right.
And at least start questioning things. You don't have to be a complete conspiracy theorist.
Right.
But you have to at least say, hey, not all of this adds up.
Right.
So.
I agree with that. I don't know that the Grateful Dead, we can say straight out.
Their name says it alone. Their name says it alone. They're playing to a bunch of zombies that are just standing there dancing around like a bunch of goofs. The craziest part of the Grateful Dead is that they're following, they're fans. They're a part of their fans that are so hugely successful.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know much about the different types of fans.
There's two types of fans. There's two types of Grateful Dead fans. There's the type that are completely just enormously successful. Millionaires.
Right. I think you said that.
Bill Walton. I don't know anybody else off the top of my head. But anyway, then there are the other ones. They just wear the shirts. They got the long hair. They smell like crap. And they walk around. And that's it.
Walk around where?
They're probably the guys sitting on the side of the road asking for change.
Oh, boy.
That's what they are.
Okay.
That's where they are. That's what they are. They're just asking for change.
Wow. All right.
And they're wearing a Grateful Dead shirt. And you're looking at them and you're like, oh, maybe get off the dead, man.
Wow.
So.
All right. Well, that is like I said, a big jump, I think.
They had.
Say they were part of it. I don't know. Maybe.
It's just hard to imagine that they weren't. Because they came out of the same area at the same time. The biggest thing about Grateful Dead is they came from Haight-Ashbury.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and it's the same area. I hear you on that.
That's where the clinics were.
Right.
There's no way they didn't just go in there for like a glass of water because it was hot out one day. They went in there at some point in time, whatever these clinics are.
Yeah.
I mean, their music goes on for hours. Hours.
True.
And it's like, okay, all right, great riff. Keep going.
And the hardest part is that, of course, even when this all came to light, all the records are gone.
That was what I was getting to at the end. They destroyed all of the records.
Right.
They destroyed everything.
Yep.
So and that guy, what's his name? Tom O'Neill.
Okay.
Tom O'Neill went through everything.
Right.
And tried to research it and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What he found was incredible.
Oh, he had a lot of information, but he basically said most of the stuff has come from a few people that have realized this happened to because they have no actual documentation because it was all destroyed.
It was all destroyed.
So they don't know exactly what was done, exactly, what even the results were necessarily because it was all destroyed.
And there could still be people out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right now that could just kill you and then pretend like they didn't know it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
They're getting older. But
yeah,
yes.
I don't think there's a bunch of 80-year-olds running around trying to kill people like assassins, but...
Yeah, it ended in the early 70s, so... But yeah.
But if they were 18, they'd only be 68, roughly.
Yeah. Okay.
That was quick math, on the fly. But did they even come up with any legal consequences for anyone?
I don't know. I think some of the people died, so I don't even think... But I don't know that there was any consequences. But it was the CIA, so it was a government-run situation, and I feel like even when there's investigations, it all just kind of goes away. Somehow it all gets washed over, and nobody sees it again. Like
I said in the beginning of this episode, I love the Bourne movies. Mm-hmm. I love the Bourne movies. I look at them now in a different light.
Okay.
Like Robert Ludlum is the guy that wrote those books. He wrote the first three. He wrote the books. The fourth one was an adaptation, and the fifth one was just off the cuff. Anyway, Robert Ludlum wrote those books. I would love to talk to him because I want to research that more, find out where he got all that information.
Right.
Because he literally, what I'm finding, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
So he must have gotten it from somewhere.
He had to have. Because the movies were fantastic, but I had no idea of MKUltra at that time. And now that I'm reading all this and going down that rabbit hole,
right.
I'm like, holy shit, this is Jason Bourne. This is Jason Bourne. This is what they did.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
The CIA took his memory away, turned him into somebody else, sent him out there. He was an assassin. And then they thought they killed him, but they didn't. He remained alive, came back, couldn't remember who he was, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And struggled for 3 movies to figure out who he was. Three movies.
I know that. I mean, that's basically what they said they were doing to these people, that they were trying to, you have to remove their memories first, take their minds, and then put in what they want there.
Then they would put in memories that didn't even happen.
Exactly. Fake memories to see.
Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one other thing that these, the electrical stuff.
Right.
They would shock their brains.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy cow. And they did it all under the guise of everybody having fun and free love.
I guess. I hadn't read about that piece of it, but yes, I hear what you're saying. I guess that was the time frame. Well, I think it started earlier. It started in the 50s. They started doing this in the 50s. They
started it in the 50s.
Yeah.
They
ended it in like 73 or something like that, I think.
Yeah, about 70, 71, somewhere it started to come crashing down.
So I don't
where
think
the church
whole year was that 1 year was the only thing. So
the church committee came in and really blew it up. Mm-hmm. And they found out what happened. And I'm telling you, those books by Robert Ludlum and the movies follow it to the T almost. It's crazy. And movies don't really follow along with real life. They're usually loosely adapted.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I've watched them so many times, I can almost recite every word, that these movies really went along with everything I've researched on this topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And everything is tied together from the season of Free Love to the Grateful Dead to Charles Manson to Bourne. All of it. Haight-Ashbury. Wow. It should not be celebrated. And maybe that's why they took it off the Ben & Jerry's container.
Yes. It's not on that anymore.
Can't see it anymore. I think people are beginning to know.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want it on there if it's going to reflect anything bad, obviously. So
hey, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
All I know is I say one thing all the time, and I'll continue to say it. Whatever you do, question everything. Yeah. Don't take everything as it is, because something's wrong all the time. And I'm not looking to be a Debbie Downer at all, but something doesn't smell right. Yeah. Probably ain't right.
I like a good conspiracy theory every once in a while.
The problem is this isn't a conspiracy theory.
This one isn't, exactly. This one's actually real. People didn't realize it was happening.
Yeah. This is...
just shows what the government is...
I'll bet you this is like Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
We
should do that.
Well, we don't know anything about it. We can't find any information. But this one came out. But if this came out and they were doing it, how is Area 51 not true?
Oh, yeah. No, I think all that stuff is true.
So that's how you question everything.
Yeah.
And that moon landing. Still not sure on that one. Anyway, we're getting near the end. Okay. So, Case, it's always good to have you here. Miss you. Love you.
Thanks.
And we'll be back again.
We will.
Hope you guys tune in. I hope you like the new format, the way we're going. I'll get worse.
I'll get better.
The worst part is these 3 people are just too nice to me. So I'll keep working on it.
Want us to be mean, huh?
No, I want you guys to be nice. I'm the dick.
Yeah, well, we're too nice to you.
You are. No matter so far, all 3 of you have agreed with me.
I think we're not really picking topics that we can completely disagree. I'm still questioning your Grateful Dead connection. It's not 100%. Something I'm going to get mad about. I don't really know how to be mean about that.
You were the last one I thought was going to be mean.
Exactly. So
I figured T-Bot could, and I figured Keebler could.
Right.
But you were the one I thought couldn't handle it.
I'm not really mean.
But you're really making it difficult to be the bad guy and polarizing.
Well, trying. Sorry.
Hey, you're doing a fine job. Don't worry about it. It's not my fault you suck.
Oh. Wow.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Here we go.
All right. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe over at sakitumi.com. And as always, be good. Hey everybody, it's Detto. I just want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Larry over at legendarygraphics.com. He's the one that came up with our logo. Came out fantastic. He does amazing work, and that's legendarygfx.com. Look him up.
Saki Doomy.
Hey everybody, it's Detto. Thanks for checking out our show today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to us. We can hook up, interact. You can tell us what you like about the show. Talk about what you don't like about the show. Give us information and insight. We'd appreciate it. We only want to make the show better for you guys. Also, if you get a chance, head over to sumassembly.net. That's our sponsor, and he could really use some business. All right? As always, everybody, be good.
Saki Doomy.